Hi, I'm Jen. I'm the practice manager at Evendale-Blue Pet Hospital. I'm here with Dr. Goodman today, and we are going to be talking about what it's like for your cat when we need to do some lab work. So, Dr. Goodman, how is blood drawn from a cat?
There's actually several different ways that blood can be drawn from a cat. We can draw it from what's called the jugular vein, which is your vein that's right here in your neck. And then we can also draw it from a back leg vein where your cat is laying on their side, and we draw it from the inside of the back leg. It really depends on your kiddo, because the big thing is that we want to decrease any kind of stress that your cat might be feeling. And we know that one of the major concerns with bringing a cat into the veterinary office is the stress of the fear that you're causing your cat to be uncomfortable, and we don't want that to be the case. And in terms of, is it painful? It's exactly the same as if we are getting blood drawn. So even people react differently to having blood drawn. Some people actually cannot have it drawn and will pass out. Other people can look at the needle, go right in the vein, and it doesn't faze them. Animals are the exact same. And so if we have an animal that is extremely stressed or nervous, we're not going to push them. We are going to talk to you and have a conversation about, okay, Fluffy is very uncomfortable right now, or is scared, or is nervous, or stressed, and we are not going to push them, and we're going to recommend some techniques for bringing them back in on a mild sedative to help alleviate that stress.
So I know, cats can go through all stages of life. So what are some reasons why a kitten, a presumably healthy adult cat, or a senior cat might need some lab work?
So a kitten would need lab work, one, if they're sick, and two, all kittens should actually have a blood test called a leukemia FIV test performed at the time of adoption, and then 60 days later, because these are both viruses that can affect our kiddos. And a young cat should have blood work run anytime that they are sick, as well as we recommend annual preventative lab work. And a senior kiddo should have blood work run. It depends. We recommend definitely annually, depending on what is going on with your senior kiddo. We're going to recommend sometimes semi-annual exams that might include blood work, depending on what their examination is. And definitely, again, it goes back to any time that your fur baby is sick, depending on the case, we're going to recommend blood work. Does it mean that every sick animal we're going to recommend blood work on? No, I don't want you to think that. But there are certain instances where if there is an illness, we're going to recommend some blood work.
Will my cat need follow-up lab work?
That's actually a really good question, because a lot of times we think, or may think, I don't know, it depends on what your knowledge is in terms of a medical background, but a lot of times we do find or uncover underlying problems that are occurring in our fur babies, especially as our animals age, and it goes back to trends again and watching those trends. And if we diagnose, one of the most common things in cats would be early kidney disease, where their kidneys start to not function properly, but their values may still be in the normal range, but it's not normal for your particular kiddo, then we're going to recommend bringing them back at a certain time frame, or in a certain time frame, in order for us to check those values again. And it's not just the kidneys either. It's also if we see an elevated liver enzyme. That might be what's called transient, which means that it might be a little blip in time and it's from inflammation somewhere in the body, and we recheck it in a couple of weeks and it's back to normal. Or we're finding something and uncovering it, and then that leads us down a diagnostic pathway with you, and we work with you as a partner and do what's best for your fur baby.
So if my cat needs some lab work, or I have some more questions, what should I do?
Oh, definitely call our staff. Our staff's amazing. They can answer any kind of question you have about lab work, and you can call the office and set up an examination with one of our wonderful veterinarians at 513-563-0410. And the other thing too, real quick, that I just thought about in terms of how we're able to draw blood from a cat and keep them safe is a lot of times cats like to be secure. They like to be in a little tiny, balled up, curled up ball, basically. I know I said ball twice, but we will use feel away spray, which is a pheromone that helps decrease stress, and we actually use this in all of our exam rooms anyway with our kiddos. And we spray a towel, and sometimes if you wrap them in the towel, they feel more secure. And it's amazing once you make them feel safe and secure how easy it is to get blood work or lab work from your kiddo. So again, if you have questions, call us at 513-563-0410. Thanks.
Thank you.